Hello and welcome. Today we're at Universal Studios in Singapore, and what a difference a year makes. This time last year, this was all boarded off and you could not walk any further through Shrek whatsoever, and now the Minion land has completely and fully opened up in 2025, and there is a lot to digest and process. The colours of this land are beautiful. So if you are a fan of the Minions, this is definitely something for you. Of course, they have got some smaller bits and pieces in Florida, but this is a full-blown Minion land with loads and loads of different rides, shops, and all of that kind of thing. So we're just going to do a quick walkthrough for the next sort of 8 or 9 minutes or so, just to see what's what. Lots of different photo opportunities, lots of different little rides that you can go on, and then of course in separate uploads we'll go through all of the detailing of all the shops, all the merchandise, and everything like that. But you can tell that this land is brand new by just how bright and colourful all of this is. Really, really nice bright yellows and purples and everything like that. It reminds me very, very much with regards to the Super Mario land that's opened up in America, just with how bright and vibrant everything is. And of course, obviously this being a completely different type of theming, looks just as good. You can see the roller coasters, everything in the background from the Sci-Fi City. So with regards to where this is on the map, if you come into the park and just walk in a straight line, you then end up getting close to sort of the Hollywood section. You would turn right to New York, or you literally just turn left. So when you get to the first bit where the park has a T, because the park layout is basically one big circle. You come through the entrance, walk in a straight line, and then when you can either turn left to go to the Minions, or you can then turn right to carry on, and whichever way you go, you'll end up at Sci-Fi City on the other side of the park. But you can see you've got all the merry-go-round bits and pieces, which look great, and then you've got some other like pay-to-play games, which somebody did win a huge teddy, if I remember rightly, as we're walking around. Now the nice thing about this park is it has shade with benches. Now I do believe that that is an enormous problem at the new park that they've just opened up in Florida. So the Ultimate Universal park that they've opened up, they haven't added in any shading from what I've seen. So fingers crossed they will just add in little bits like that, which made a huge difference because it is unbelievably hot this time of year. But again, you can see they've just got the benches sat back where they've got the little bits and pieces from the food stands and the shops. So there's lots of places you can eat around here. It was a huge area. Now, if anybody knows what this area used to be, then please do let me know. So I'm assuming you've always been able to do a full loop and a walkthrough, but when I came to Universal in Singapore for the first time, this section was all closed off. So it had all the boards up and everything like that, so you could only walk basically on the inside around the water to get to the Shrek on the other side, or of course then you could just kick off to the right hand side as you first came in. So it felt a lot more busy, but now you can come in and basically go either way. So like I said, if you were to go in a straight line, that then takes you to the other section of the park, and to the right hand side is where the entrance actually is. So if you know what this used to be, then please do let me know. I haven't done my research enough on the Universal Studios in Singapore, but of course I am going to try and tick every single Universal Studios off around the world, and onto the Lego channel I want to hit every single Legoland park around the world as well, and we do them in unison, so that hence why there is 2 different channels. We've got a performance stage where of course you can do some meet and greets and bits and pieces up there as well. And then as you're coming round, what I really liked is all of these, where it looked like they were all made out of sort of like flowers and plants and grass and that kind of thing. And there was loads of these photo opportunities everywhere. And the other thing which I liked is this. It told you where everything was, which is the closest way to go left, which is the closest way to go right. And you can just walk round in a straight line. It's just one big circle. So you go from zone to zone to zone. So it's not like you can actually get it wrong and miss a big section of the park. And again, lots and lots of different references from different things. So if you are a fan of the Minions, like I said, this definitely is for you. And you can see it's basically all adults, to be honest, and it's just everybody having a nice time. The characters were out all of the time. I would imagine they would have been absolutely roasting in this heat. The camera was unbelievably hot to touch just after about 10 minutes. So the fact that they were in those suits for a little while they would have been very, very hot and toasty. But you can see you've got all the really nice fascia of all the different buildings, which you would see in all the films. And of course, you can go into the shop, and it's a huge shop as well. So we do go in there and have a full-blown walk around in a separate upload. But this is just a bit of a teaser of the different bits and pieces that are available within here. And you've got lots of different sort of zones and sections within this bit. So you've got the pink and white, and then you go into the next section where you then go black to the blue, and you can see you've got the bellow and everything up on the wall. Again, it's just ridiculously clean with lots of different bits and pieces available. But this is just a very, very short walkthrough, and then, like I said, in a separate upload, it will be a really detailed look at all the bits and pieces that are available, the pricing, and all of that kind of thing as well. Now, we are slowly starting to run out of time. Still got a couple of minutes left. But if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that would be absolutely fantastic. If you've been to any of the Universal Studios around the world, which is your favourite? Which one have you managed to get to? Have you managed to do Malaysia? Have you managed to do any of them at the Florida parks? Have you gone to California or anywhere like that? Because it is amazing just to see the differences of all of the different Universal Studios around the world, and it is a pleasure that they are opening up so many different bits and pieces, because of course they're opening up a brand new Fast and Furious really quick roller coaster, I do believe, over in California after the horrendous ride that they opened up at Universal Studios in Florida. So they are always correcting their mistakes. I think I prefer the theming to Universal Studios over Disney with regards to queue lines and all of that kind of thing as well. I think I prefer the IPs that it has to offer, and of course the roller coasters and everything are just that little bit quicker. But don't get me wrong, if you're a Disney fan, I can see why, because it is a completely different atmosphere at both. But you can see what I mean about all of the theming. You've got the big house there just to the left-hand side. There's some more walk-around actors coming out for some photo shoots. I think they're getting photos done here to the left-hand side. Or is that later on? That might be in a separate video. But this is one of the rides, but they also come out to the front here, and they also come out to the front of the house that's just to the right-hand side. So the Minion Mayhem didn't have a queue at all. It did first thing in the morning, but this is later on in the day, so you could literally walk on in about 10 minutes. So there they are. That's what I was thinking of. So there's your meet and greet from all of the different characters, and of course you see all of these characters in the Minion Mayhem, which is just a good little bit of fun. So that is where we've just come in for Shrek. You can see, you can grab your snacks, drinks. We've gone into the purple bit on the left-hand side, and we've done all that kind of thing. And now we're just going to walk, I think, all the way in a straight line, just to see the different bits and pieces that are on offer. Now, it was, like I said, extremely hot, so I do recommend taking a bag of drinks if you're going anywhere hot like this around the world, because, well, the bottles or the cans of Coke, for example, and Sprite and that kind of thing were $4 Singapore each, and you went through quite a few of them within the day. But you are allowed to bring your own drinks in, but the nice thing is that all of their drinks are just in ice buckets, so they are very, very fresh, and they are very, very refreshing. But again, look at the theming on the walls. You will notice that there's lots of different sets available of these. Obviously, you would know what each building relates to. That is the shop. That's what we've just walked in and out of and done the quick loop. So there's 4 different fascias. One of the fascias is actually the end of the Minion Mayhem as well. So it's very, very clever how you get off the ride and then you zigzag through and then you end up into the shop. And of course, then you can walk into the shop the other way. Now, when we do the full loop of the different bits and pieces, so again, more photo shoots with regards to putting your feet in the paint and all that kind of thing. When we do the full loop of the theme park, you would just see the scale and how the path changes from zone to zone with regards to where we're standing now, to then where we're going to be standing on to the next thing, and then as we go through a little bit further, it changes again. Again, you've got some more photo opportunities there to the left-hand side. You can see up and above where it is all in shade as well when you first come in, which is another really nice thing. So that area stays nice and cool as you go sort of through the first part of the theme park. But that is it, and I am done. So again, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you next one.